tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na-na-na, na-na-na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5. Home to the Asian Oprah and streaming everywhere. The station that leaves no listener behind on iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, GeoSun, Podchaser, Streaker, Apple, you name it, I'm there. Why? Because I want to splatter more hope and happiness on you. So I have topics and guests to that end, from anything from we have coming up Allison Arngrim from Little House on the Prairie. She'll be coming on to talk about our recently passed friend, Steve Pieters, who actually was a guest on my show 2 times. He is an amazing guy, and I got to give him some props on Tuesday, I believe. And then we did an in memoriam show looking at the whole life of Coco Lee, who unfortunately took her own life, in the sense that her pain was that large to not want to stay here. But we honored her entire life and all the contributions she made on Monday. So many shows. We are on show number 977 today. And I also have special series to help you deal with things that maybe you wouldn't want to talk about. So yesterday with Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works, we talked about money and sharing money in relationships. So if you missed any of those shows and more, please go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you will be able to get not only the shows, but kind of fun things like a backstage interview with the Temptations, because somebody was kind enough to organize that, as well as introducing me to his mom. And that is Trace Austin, who is doing really amazing things. You'll have to follow me on social media, Doc Balance, as well as him, the Trace Austin, to see the stuff he's going through. And his manager is in studio today. Not only is his manager here, she is the daughter of Otis Williams, the founder of Temptations. Ergo, the title of our special Friday series, Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elan Carter. Good morning. How
Good
are you?
morning.
You got a lot to get out. I don't know how you do it. She remembers everything. My morning coffee time. This way.
Here we go. Ready? Click. Oh, wrong way. This way. Click.
Yes.
Hey. Well, let's just go right into our breakfast, coffee, and a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is 8 specific things that you are grateful for. It's also a way that you can remember or recount all the positive things that have happened to you in your life, so you can start the day in the most positive way. So what are you grateful for, Elan?
I'm grateful that I have 4 furry dogs around me right now, and one is raising hell. I'm sorry, I had to say it because he's like, woo, the one that doesn't bark, the big one. That's I have 4 beautiful dogs, and one is deciding to talk. Till I can get him out.
It's funny because they take turns, because last week it was the lasso app.
And he's sitting next to me this morning. Usually I have them gated off. They're out. They want to be on the show today.
Awesome.
I'm grateful for the animals. I love animals, and I've said that before. I actually have a kitty cat, but I have a mean lobster opposite that will get the kitty cat. So she's in my room. But yes, I love my furry beings all around here. They're lovely. They make me happy.
Yay! I am grateful that I get to broadcast live here in Lost Wages. I mean, Las
You're
Vegas.
still there,
I'm
yeah.
still there. I know. We'll have to plan a
It
trip
looks
here.
different in the back. I didn't. It looks lovely though.
Thank you. That's why. Oh, my suitcase is in the back there. I was like, what is that?
It doesn't look like a suitcase.
There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. I am grateful that I'm learning so much. I'm at the World Financial Group annual convention of the champions. The theme this year is step up, show up, and dream up, which is right down my life alley. And I'm so, so grateful that I am adding financial health and well-being to my Happy 88 mission, because it's a lot easier to choose to be happy when your finances are in abundance. And so if you are interested at all in joining me in this new path on my journey, and my business coach, John Shin, and mentor for all of this, is opening his home again in August. So if you'd like to show up, we had a couple people sign up yesterday as a result of one of my posts. So please do go to drmarissa.life or message me and say I'm in, so I can keep track of you. But I'm so, so grateful that I have like so many great people, expert people around me to just make this life even more of a joyride than it is already. And Elan, you are in that number.
Well,
It's just been lovely getting to know you and continuing, and we get to touch base once a week, even though we try to get together.
No, we're gonna have to wait. Well, you went out of town when I had an open week this week, so when you get back next week, we're gonna get together because we haven't celebrated, so we're gonna get together.
Her birthday. We have not celebrated her birthday, so we will do that.
It's my birthday month. So okay, so I'm gonna say my gratitude. I am grateful. I'm gonna say 2, right? Because you got a lot of time. I'm gonna give you 2 of them. Because you had a long list.
You're right. You're right.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna make it go fast. I'm not rushing you. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm grateful that I am transparent and I am a loyal person.
Well, you just went right into appreciation, so you can actually add some gratitudes there. She's teaching you how to do the bottom of the bun. The bottom of the bun is what are you grateful for, but inside? What do you like about yourself? Because if you can't like yourself, you're not going to be able to be 88% happy, because you're constantly looking for likes, literally looking for people to like you. And I want you to like you. So Elan just said 2 things that she likes about herself. Say them again.
Oh, that I'm transparent and I'm a very loyal person.
I am fun-loving and funny.
You are funny.
Yeah,
I'm funny and corny. So I know that I like, my dad always says you're really funny. Rodas calls me. He goes, oh my God, you're so funny. But I'm also really corny. My sister says I'm corny. I am corny. I don't care. I own that. I like my corniness. That's what makes me funny.
There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. And funny's great as long as it's not funny looking.
Well, yeah, thank God that I have the parents I have.
And speaking of which, we are we got a couple people are giving us the finger, Elan.
The middle finger or the good finger?
This one.
Okay.
And that is because I am streaming live. You are seeing Elan Carter live in studio right now. If you have gratitudes or appreciations or any opinion on today's topic, please do go to the chat and type it in, and we can welcome you and put I can try. Since I'm remote, maybe Polly can help me out and put your comment up on the screen. Let's see, Elan, what else do you appreciate about yourself?
Oh, I appreciate that. I don't know. I appreciate being here this morning, and I made it on time. That's what I appreciate. I was on time.
Yes, you were. Where's the applause? Polly's going to have to get that. On time, and your internet connection looks good. You look
I'm on a
clear.
different computer today. Maybe it's the other computer. I snitched my daughter's computer today.
Thank you, London.
Yeah, she's away at her friend's house. She doesn't even know. So maybe
All right.
I'll start using her computer.
I think it's a great idea. The last two appreciations are that I am an attractor. I manifest very easily these days because I'm not trying to control things. And so I've had so many things recently wonderfully happen that maybe I might be tempted to talk about on the air, but we're definitely talking about it off the air.
I already know. It has something to do with our topic. Similar.
Possibly. What is our topic today?
Our topic is it okay to, well, internet dating, right? Internet dating is our topic. And is it okay to meet the people in person, in a public place or a private place? Of course, public's always the best place. But if you start talking to someone for a long time and develop a relationship, is it trusting enough to go on a date and invite somebody to your house that you've never met before? That's going to be the topic.
And I have so much to say on that. I'm not going to say it, but that is our topic today. I see the eyeballs rolling in. Thank you for joining me on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show podcast number 977, 587 consecutive weeks on the air. And today we would love you to chat with us.
Yes, chat, call us and tell us your experiences. I think everybody's experiences and stories will make it even more interesting. I mean, I haven't internet dating because I was actually married by the time that started becoming a thing, but I have some stories about my sister and when she was going on the internet, and they were just hysterical. Just really cool.
So why don't we start with that? Does she know you're going to talk about that?
No, she doesn't know. She's not watching me. She doesn't care. She's in New York working. No, this is like years ago when she first started. I think, what was the first one that, like, the first dating one? There was one that was like really popular 10 years ago when it first kind of started. Do you remember
Tinder?
the name? No, way before the Tinder stuff. Anyway, she met this guy, and she said the guy looked like Brad Pitt. He was a Puerto Rican looking Brad Pitt. She said he was so hot. So she was really excited. My sister's very pretty, has a great career, super smart. And she met the guy, and she said he had the most boring personality that you can ever meet. She's like, it was such a disappointment. But anyway, she tried to go on a second date with him, and he became a little creepy and a little stalkerish. And so, she said that wasn't a good thing. So she figured out he was so handsome, right? But there was a reason why. She couldn't understand, like, how could you look like that and not have a situation? Because that's when internet dating first started. So it wasn't popular. And she's like, why don't you have a girlfriend? How come you're not involved with anyone? Why do you have to go here? And so anyway, that wasn't a bad situation, but I just know that I just remember that story. Her saying how the person became weird and started calling her, and she got really scared. And now and she's single, but she just said, I won't. She had a couple experiences, and she's like, I won't do it.
Yeah. I thought I expanded Elan's topic so that we could cover all aspects of internet dating, because it is one of those necessary evils, if you want to say that. These days, it seems like, how do you even meet someone if you don't get on some kind of app or service or something, Match or any of those, as well as the swiping. So once you do make a connection, or what you think is a connection remotely, what's the best way then to proceed from there? And Lon's point around public place, private place, I will tell you from my experience, and I have had specific experience where a guy, it's so it's kind of scary how connected you can get without ever seeing somebody. And I consider myself pretty smart, and I completely fell for the voice that said the right things. I think I was vulnerable. It was after the divorce. So I think the first year after the divorce, and I don't even know exactly how I met him, but we started talking on the phone, and I've heard people, oh, we talked all night and it was so easy. And they said, felt so comfortable, and feels like I've known them my whole
Fall in
life.
love with someone they've never met. I've heard the story.
Right?
Over. And you're like, how could you connect to that? I got an amazing story, but go ahead. I got to tell you another one.
Well, that's what happened. And literally over the span of 3 weeks, I felt like I had feelings for this guy. It was crazy. And then he started talking about money and how, starts these elaborate, my sister's in trouble, my money's frozen, da 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 da, and da 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 da.
They're professional con artists, and they seek women who are successful like you. You got to watch out for that too.
I was
and women do the same thing with men. They want their rent paid, and I can't imagine these young girls are way more savvy than when I was coming up. They know how to talk to people. How do you talk people that you've never met out of their money? And people end up giving them money.
Thank God.
I know you didn't.
But,
you know why? Because you've made it very clear that's an Asian thing. You're not giving your money up. Hey, Maria.
Hey.
We're not doing that with the money.
You know what?
If I'm not getting a deal, I'm not dealing with you. If it's no deal, that's a deal breaker, huh?
Deal breaker, but I've already done it in a big way in one marriage, and then I almost did this on the phone. So you think, you're not going to do that, Dr. Marissa, but I'm like a ding dong for even getting to the point that I did. It took me like a year to forgive myself for being a victim in that. Thank God it did not, go in.
I met some woman because it just popped up just over a week ago, right? You're going to be astounded by this. Super professional, very successful. I can't say who it is. Very prominent in the industry. Meets this guy. I mean, the story she told me was just unbelievable. Meets this guy, happens to live in Turkey, has this relationship with this guy for a long time. Now, mind you, she showed me the pictures. I saw what the guy looks like. Very clear, just like you and I are talking, right? Because I was like, how could that be? I'm going to say, keep that in mind. How could that be? You're talking to this person like we're talking. Guy conned her out of $2 million. This is an educated person. Her savings, right? Big investment, this and that, knew who she was. Fell for this guy, handsome, older woman, more mature. She shows me the pictures, the video. The guy who, whatever they did, this is how advanced it is right now. Say you have my face and you and I were talking. The AI is so freaking advanced that she's talking to this guy on the internet, on Zoom the entire time. And it wasn't that person. And it was alive, like we are, but they got the picture. So she ends up flying overseas. This is just recently. This just happened, and end up going to court. They nailed down about 6 people. She has the means to go find the people to get, and in the background, people showed up in court. One woman, couple of Nigerians, couple of people from Turkey. It was a ring. But she's talking to them and they look just like you and I are talking. And when she showed me the picture, I'm like, how could that be? I thought it would look like a cartoon. The fact is, she's like, it's embarrassing that I would get conned out of that kind of money. right? Educated, smart, intelligent, that would even happen to me, right?
Yeah.
It's so scary that people prey on someone regardless. And so that's another thing that we can talk about. When say you're married for 40 years, 30 years, or your spouse passes away. So trying to go out and date now is kind of difficult. Things have changed, right? So you've got to look at another way to go out and start dating again. And so you go, okay. And I know because I've told my mother, who's single, because my mom's divorced from my dad, and she's still really beautiful. Date, try the internet. She's like, I'm absolutely not doing it. And I said, just go to Starbucks. Well, she's gonna like sit at Starbucks because she said the coffee costs too much. But you know,
I love you, Goldie.
I know. How do you address? She's fine with Folgers. Me, I have to have lattes. How do you address dating someone when you get to a certain age or you get divorced to even trust someone who's older? And the thing is, the people that did this to this woman, they were not young. The people who did it were young, but the guy she's talking to was age appropriate, I should say. A younger man, but age appropriate for her. So how do you even trust to do that? Especially when someone's of a certain age, they're an easy target. And a woman gets emotional. And she fell for this man over the internet. So, you know, it's one thing to be talking, like when it first started, you're talking live, you're chit-chatting, right? It's now you could be on Zoom. And so you're actually able to see the person you like.
Exactly.
The entire time.
That's well, I feel for her because I know exactly how that feels because that's exactly what happened to me, except not on Zoom. It was worse. It was stupider of me because it was just on the phone because this was early on, you know, before Zoom.
He was sending pictures.
No, I did I even get a picture? I think I had one picture. And it was, you know, of course he was good looking. And oh God, I'm embarrassed to admit that happened. We have a comment here from Maria.
I know.
Oh my God, I know those. I told my friend about a guy that was scamming her. She didn't believe me. I gave her proof. It finally came out. I was right, but she won't speak to me. Probably embarrassed.
Yeah.
I absolutely say yeah.
Yes. I mean, this is someone who's really prominent, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, listen, it can happen to anyone, especially if you're a vulnerable woman, right? And you are single and you get to a certain age and you've always been beautiful all your life. And then all of a sudden you get to a certain age and you feel less
beautiful.
Well, not less beautiful, but not like you can't pull like you did, right? So you're a little bit more insecure, right? It's a little bit more insecurity. Like, okay, well, you know, this person's going to be attracted to me. And you know, you have a lot to offer, you know, and I know a lot of times people are attracted to that, but just to steal from someone and feel like nothing. I just don't get it, but it happens all the time.
It happens all the time, and it can happen to smart women. So I'm a testament to that.
I'm not giving you my money. I don't care how you look. Even if you look like Jason Momoa, I'm not giving you my money.
If you've just tuned in and you're wondering what we're laughing about and tempted to talk about this morning, you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and our very special Friday weekly series called no, that was yesterday. Sorry. Tempting Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elan Carter.
Maria's laughing. Thank you, Maria, for laughing at my boo-boo there. And probably because I wanted to mention something, which I kind of blew just now, but someone we know very well was also scammed on the internet. And it was embarrassing for him. And I'm going to say it because you can actually listen. The story came out much to my shock. Huh?
I remember that story. He told us that story. And he's young. Like, this is a young guy who got scammed and was being blackmailed. And he's handsome, right? So if you're a young person and you get scammed and you're a handsome person, it can happen to anyone. And the thing is, because we're such visual beings, right? That's easy way to get caught up. You know, and I know a lot of stories. He told us that story. And he's young. Like, this is a young guy who got scammed and was being blackmailed. And he's handsome, right? So if you're a young person and you get scammed and you're a handsome person, it can happen to anyone. And the thing is, because we're such visual beings, right? That's easy way to get caught up. because we're visual. And a lot of times, not only, you know, they use a different picture of the person, right? Because the person that got scammed, it happened. This person wasn't even involved. The guy that she's talking to in AI the whole time, that guy was not even the person. Like they just took someone's picture. He probably doesn't even know what's going on, right? So you take someone's picture, and even the girls that you see on the internet, it's different now. You can digitize. You know, we talk about modeling. You can make this feature look like this, and your behind look like that, and your boobs look like that. I mean, you totally can change the whole way you look than you probably do in person anyway. Most of the time, they look similar to that, but not like that. And then they sucker you in that way.
Yeah, which is always kills me. Even people who are not trying to scam, the way that you Photoshop yourself, or even the fake whatever that you put on yourself, it always it speaks to
you just they have all these apps, and you just hit the retouch,
the filter,
or the filter. You could beautify. You could take your years off. I always take the younger years off. Like I always hit the button that goes, okay, take 10 years off.
But then when, you know, it isn't transparent, because then when they meet
I did look like that 10 years ago. It's not like I didn't look like that. It was a 10-year-old picture. That's what I'm going to say. It was yesterday, but it was 10 years yesterday.
I remember I signed up for one of the things for 6 months because it was the cheapest version. And I went on like 2 or 3 dates, and I'm like, this is a total waste of my time and money. So I dedicated the rest of the 6 months to a research project, and I would set up the lunch dates with us consecutive guys, and I would ask them, what's your best date and a worst date? And I made it into a research article. And so one of the ones that stood out was, he said, the woman used a picture of a model. Like that was not even close to what she looked like. And he's like, why do you do that? And her response was, I like the way she looks. But it's not you.
But in their mind, they've already put themselves like they, you know, they claim, you know, these people in these conspiracies that we have lizard people and they can transform to human and whatever, like the girl in the airplane. You know about that, the woman on the airplane that got scared and said that the guy was one of those. You didn't hear about that? It was all over the news. She screamed and she saw a guy and he changed his face, and it was all over. It was all over the internet last week. She got scared on the airplane and left the airplane. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. We'll talk about that.
God. Oh my God.
Because he changed the way, so they think they can metaphorically.
Oh my God. Okay,
I don't know how to do that either, Maria. Because if I did, I'd change it to a lot of different things, a lot of different people.
But I've met people in person, and they are like, "Oh my God, it is you." That confuses me.
Right, because they didn't expect you to look like you do. They really expected something totally different.
Yeah, even my book cover is a good picture of me. And what scares me is that, like, people will say, does it, you know, it's a good picture of me.
Yeah, that looks like you.
Okay,
the
good.
Hair and everything.
Because sometimes it's like, oh, darn. Oh, good. We have another cashew gallery entrant here. Let's see. Deborah Johnson, girl, you still look like you did 10 years ago.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you.
That's so awesome. I don't know if that was for you or for me, but we'll both take it. How's that?
We'll both take it. I was talking about how I looked 10 years ago. Like I'll put the filter on when it makes my skin look really nice and clear. At least I admit I cheat. I cheat. I tell my son, I go, put the filter on. When he's, he gets so mad at me. I'm like, take my picture. Tracy goes, Mom, I'm not putting the filter. It looks weird. I go, put the daggone filter on.
Well,
go ahead. You know what I want to talk about, because I think it's so fascinating, and I'm going to tell on you because I know you have done this. I want to talk about the speed dating. I think that's the funniest thing ever. She has told me some funny stories about speed dating and how that process, which I think that's more fun to do that than anything else.
Well, I have to say that hashtag COVID silver lining, the normalcy of using Zoom or what we're doing, where you can actually start to talk to people real time on camera without meeting them, because I stopped doing all that kind of dating stuff because it was a waste of my driving to wherever to meet, scheduling time, for me, time, no do-overs. It's not like money, you can make more. So time is my most precious resource. And I would be spending time going there thinking that, you had a connection over the phone without, seeing them, only their picture, and finding out that everybody can take one good picture and then going, that in person they do not look like. And unfortunately, I am very like a guy, visually stimulated. So for me, looks are a lot more than they should be. And I was working with Dr. John. I am working with Dr. John Gray to try to change that and listen more to what a guy is like. Yeah. So anyways, why did I say that?
We're talking about speed dating.
Oh, yeah, you want to know speed dating. So yeah, you get to know a guy or girl, whatever your flavor, whatever your preference is, the way you can relate on Zoom, although you said your friend, the AI screwed that up because it wasn't them. But usually, and what my experience on the speed dating was, they pair you up for 5 minutes and you have a very quick, a little conversation to who are you? And, if they're smart, they'll say, so what do you, instead of saying what's your sign, or, what I would say, what are you passionate about? I thought that was a good question. Or instead of saying, so what do you do for work? And what do you do in your spare time? So you get to choose the questions. And then if you like each other enough to continue on the conversation, you hit a button, you have to both hit at the same time, that says 5 more minutes. And then after the call, if you want to continue the conversation, you say, you hit yes, or you can say, never want to see this person again, or I'm reporting them because they're ding dong, or, they were not very nice. And it was a very interesting, I did it I bought a month, and I'm not going to say their name because their technology was not the best. And so, I get paired up with women, and I'm specifically said men, and there were a lot of women who also had that experience. And when there's not enough people local, they'll put you in across state, and long distance is just, I don't know if I really want that. So, but it was good. But there are some numb nuts.
I can imagine.
Oh my goodness! Like,
well, a lot of people think more of themselves than what they really have to offer or how they appear. And some of the pictures you showed me were so funny. I'm like, really? Like, it's just that they have a different. I don't know. Maybe because we're a little warped because we live in Los Angeles. There's so many interesting and beautiful people here. It makes you a little bit warped. It just does, because it's just normal to see everyone walking down the street that looks amazing. Everyone's on TV here. So,
yeah, I call them having blind faith in themselves. Like they're unaware of really what they look like or are like, and all of that. So blissfully unaware.
Do you recommend that when you do actually meet someone, right, that you do connect with, or you are interested, when you meet them the first time in person, where do you suggest that you meet? And after the first date, say you do meet at a Starbucks, do you think that do you trust the person, even though you've been talking to them for months, that it would be wise to go to the person's house?
I intellectually say no, because, stranger danger, and you don't want to be that news story of the extreme thing that happened. But then, honey, when that pilot light goes on in the furnace,
Yeah, this is true. But think about the serial killers. Can't think of one of the most famous one in New York. He was nice looking. Like a lot of these guys are nice looking, right? Although serial killers were not funny looking dudes at all. That's how they got caught up in where it became crazy. So women need to keep that in mind, because a man can defend himself if he's getting caught up. That's a little different. I'm not saying you can't meet a crazy girl, but most of the time a man can defend himself if he gets in a situation. But women have to especially be really cautious when you go.
Yeah.
Don't go to someone's house. I don't care. Like, you really have to spend time with them and always find things for them to do. Go to dinner, do this, like on a regular basis, until you really feel you can trust them. Second, third date, that's still too soon.
Yeah.
My dog can see a dog. I'm sorry.
No. They're agreeing.
I'm like, help.
They're agreeing with you. Hey, Elan. Oh, I'm gonna.
Help now. Sorry.
Okay, I think I'm gonna mute you for a second until they. There we go. So yeah, that is a specific answer to the original question on whether you should go to someone's house on a first, second, or third date. And yes, it is an extreme, and I am a huge do not live in fear person. I'm not going to limit myself from living an amazing life because of one story that the news, if it bleeds, it leads, and people want to prey on your fear. At the same time, balancing that out with you want to be alive to be able to date again. So
Exactly.
don't make stupid choices.
Don't give anyone your money. I don't care if I've heard these stories over and over and over. Oh, and men do it too. You meet a girl and she's like, I need my rent paid. This happened. And I know men, want to help the woman, but it happens so many times. If you don't know the person and the person's telling you they have issues, and if you can afford to help someone and it's a couple $100 and that's not going to hurt you, then okay, well, you can afford to lose a couple $100. But when you start getting into thousands and people keep saying, well, this happened to me and this person, I don't do it, because most of the time you're being, suckered.
Yeah, there's that famous football player at USC that got scammed, that catfishing. Really? Yeah, you hadn't heard about that one? They did a whole show on Netflix, I think it was. Maria, do you know what I'm talking about, or Deborah? He's like
his name? Notre Dame. It was a Notre Dame.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry, Notre Dame. What was his name?
Monty somebody. Monty Teo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Sorry, I got the wrong school. You haven't heard about it?
Uh-uh.
Oh, wow. Yeah, read up on that. You'll be shocked on that one. But it was so elaborate, and it wasn't spoiler alert. It wasn't a woman scamming the guy. It was a guy pretending to be a woman to scam him.
That's another thing to be careful of. Yes. That happens a lot. Because my son, like, I got this bill on my thing and I go, there's Tinder or something. What are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm not doing it. I was doing research. That's what he said. I said, don't you dare. Don't even be charging into my account for your Tinder, whatever dating you're trying to do. I was like, you could just go meet someone. He's shy.
Yeah. Speaking of Trace, let's do a quick commercial. He's coming up on a huge stage. It's the stage that launched so many big names. Elton John. I mean, it's like one of those rites of passage places to perform at.
Yeah. The date has changed.
Oh, good.
The date changed.
When is it?
It's going to be August 31st.
Good, because I couldn't make the July date.
Yeah.
There you go. Just for me. It's the Troubadour. So I'm so excited for him and so happy for him. So So I'm glad that it's going to be in August because I couldn't go to the July show. So let's
Yes,
see.
that's gonna be.
Oh,
Yes, thank you, Marie. I'm so excited. I tell him, I was like, that's like the rite of passage as an artist that you get to go there.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Thanks. Yeah, Maria's joined me as a groupie of Trace.
We have Tracy. We have Tracy. We have a whole bunch of aunties. We had so much fun at the show. And he's like, "Oh," I go, "You wait till you get in the big arenas. We're gonna be like the mom and auntie Trace fan club because we're all out there dancing. But we started from the beginning, so that'll get him going. We'll be his little hype people. We'll be the hype group.
Yeah, cousin Benita.
Yes.
Oh my God, I
She's so
had
much
no
fun.
idea she can dance. That girl's
Yes.
got moves. Like
Yes.
I think I'm a pretty good dancer.
We call her social lubrication for a party.
Oh, I could go so many ways with that comment. And I'm
so
not
my
gonna.
Puerto Rican cousin who has that Latin flavor, so she has the dance of love anyway, and she has these new big additions. We call them the Dolly Partons. They're huge. And then she gets that social lubrication going, and the guys don't see nothing else. That's all they see. That's why it's so much fun to bring her, right? Because they just zero in right there.
And she's not only a hot, what is it,
social lubricant. Social lubricant for a party.
She's also a lubricant for birthday celebrations. The very first time I met her, Elan brought her along, and it was like a couple days from my birthday, and she picked up the entire check. That girl,
she's so
for
sweet.
my birthday.
I have to tell her we talked about her today.
Yeah.
We took her to Hawaii for my birthday 2 years ago. I had a big birthday party. I wish I would have met you because I took 20 people to Maui. We turned that island out, right? Me and my 20 girlfriends, and we had a private party. We had a suite, and oh my God, we had DJs and Emmy. I feel sorry for the neighbors. They're probably like, "What the hell's going on?" And she got the party going. We had it was the best party. She's still talking about it. But we need to bring her because she got with social lubricant for the party. The whole party, the entire week, we had a blast because she just kept us going. We went to the waterfalls and dove into the water, and she was partying there even when she was diving into the waterfall.
Well, you keep saying lubricant, and I'm gonna have
Uh-oh. Is that going with the dating app, right?
Well, it's going with the dating app, and I know that next week's topic I'm going to pick, unless we have your guest, is going to it is really I think you brought up a really important tempted conversation around. I'm not saying older. I'll say ageless women.
Mature.
I don't even like that word.
Okay.
That's why I say ageless. I don't like mature.
Okay, seasoned like Laurie seasoned salt. I don't know.
Yeah, seasoned woman. There was actually an LA Times article that I saved from ageless number of years ago about that point in life where you've had your kids are grown up and maybe you've gotten a divorce or your spouse has passed and you meet a younger guy who lights your pilot light. And it's not a cougar thing, but it is literally a rite to passage for the second part of your sex life, your love life, your romance, and all of that. And I think that's an important thing that we should talk about. I want to devote an entire show to that. So remind me.
Let's get a sponsor of lubricant. A lubricant sponsor.
You can go for it. You can go for it. Yes,
I don't need it. I just laugh. I'm just making a because we were talking about lubricant.
Okay. I think Maria was talking about Maui, but we can make it about lubricant if we want to.
We'll bring Sam. Well, if we bring Sam on, then we might get like violations because then the conversation goes south when Sam's on.
I have some bad news for you.
But he's funny.
I have some bad news about Sam.
Oh no.
He came out yesterday on the show. First time he said girlfriend. He's got a girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend?
I know. He didn't even warn me. Like he said it in the gratitudes. Huh?
He slipped out.
He,
I don't need it like that, like lubricant.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Don't lie. You know what's hugely funny is on Thursdays, I'm the one doing the embarrassing double entendre, triple entendre. And then on Fridays, you're the one that's taking that role and I'm turning pink and red. So go Elan.
I'm just teasing you.
I know. And I'm like, because I joke all the time about
you are in Vegas. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Take advantage of it.
How do you know that I haven't already?
I can tell by your face. That's why we're going to talk after the show.
You totally know me too well, man. This is like scary.
Yes, and you know what? Usually I hear from Dr. Marissa a lot during the week, and this week she's been a little bit quiet. She's like, "Oh, I'm on my way to somewhere. Oh, I'm on my way," and I've been busy too. But usually I'll get a little bit more. So I was like, she's a little quiet this week. She has some shenaniganizing going on in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I love the fact that I'll be honest. Not about this one, but oops, I just let that slip out. It is kind of a good thing that Vegas has that reputation. Not if for cheaters and betrayers. I'm not talking about that, but there is something freeing about this city where you can make a mistake or you can do something that you may not have the freedom to do anywhere else. And then it can stay there or not. But it definitely, let's just put it this way. You know that thing I used to say around, it's been a long time, 5 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, and an hour, but who's counting? And at what point do you become a virgin again? After
that's why you're turning red when I say lubricant. Now I got it.
Honey, no lubricant needed.
I
Thank
know,
you very much.
You, but it is related. Maria probably thinks you're crazy today. She's like, you guys are being naughty.
Oh my God. I'm in so
Naughty
much
Friday.
trouble. Naughty Friday is right. Not Friday, not Lubricant Friday. If you've just tuned in and you're having a good time laughing your assets off at what's going on in the studio today, you are tuned in to take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, and my very special Friday series with the beautiful and very provocative, tempting co-host, Elan Carter.
I'm just talking mess this morning and having fun.
Yes, we are.
Benita started it. We started talking about cousin Benita first. That's how it started.
Oh, is that what it was?
She has the juiciest stories.
With no lube needed.
No. Yes, we have to have her on. We have to have her on the show.
Oh my God.
You just have to make sure that we have, like, in the studio, you have the beep, beep, beep.
Why do you think I haven't asked her?
No, she knows what to say. She won't say anything.
Okay.
She doesn't cuss, so she won't say cuss words. It might be overly.
It's naughty. Yeah, I actually got in trouble year 5 or 6. I got contacted by the control factors at the station because it is, there's FCC regulations, and this is really, and I can't even say the word because I got in trouble for saying this word, but it's a funny story. I had a filmmaker on talking about sexual addiction, and it came out literally that he mentioned this thing that happens with sexual addiction. It's a kind of pornography. It's let's just say, the first word, the first two syllables. No. It's this thing that people do, and it's dangerous and not condoning, and it's kind of horrible. But strangers meeting, and you insert an area of your body into a
Oh, okay. I think I know.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say that word?
No,
Body part.
don't say it. Do not say
I'm
the
not
whole.
going to say it. I'm just saying it's a body part. You can't say it.
Well, no. So just, I don't want to get in trouble again if I get
I'm not
another.
going to say it anyway. I wouldn't say it.
Yeah, but it's like it's a $20,000 fine. Uh-oh. Are we like out of time? Shoot. Polly said 3 minutes, like 3 minutes ago. There's where he's going to give us a 1 minute signal in a second. So final word on this, on internet dating, whether you should go to a person's house or not.
Well, you should not go to a person's house. Don't bring lubricant anywhere when you meet someone, because you'll get in trouble. And go to the coffee shop.
Yeah. Have lubricant, will travel to Starbucks to meet first date. That is not the final word.
And don't bring any of those paraphernalia things in your bag.
Laughter,
5 years.
Laughter is the best medicine, and it's my favorite sound in the world. So thank you, Elan, co-host today, for absolutely making me laugh.
Have fun this weekend. Have lots of fun this weekend.
I am having a lot of fun.
Are you going to stay through the weekend? You're not coming back?
Conversations with Dr. Marissa and
Elan Carter. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, we certainly did. Now remember, it's all about balance and lubricant. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Yes, I know, Maria, you love Elan. Sometimes I get like left out here. I mean, all this love for Elan, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm so glad you joined us. Please do, if you missed the entire first part of this, go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you can get all the laughs there. So have the best weekend ever. We'll see you on Monday. Have